Here's the paraphrased version of your script, lightly reworded as requested." Her laughter was something I would forever cherish. It echoed in my mind like a bittersweet memory, a reminder of days when it used to make my heart race with unrestrained joy. Back then, it was light and melodious, the kind of sound that could lift even the heaviest burdens from my soul. But that evening, as she stepped through the front door after yet another so-called business trip, the laughter I heard wasn't one I treasured. It was different, sharp, hollow, and piercing, as if she had left a part of herself in some unreachable place. "Hello, sweetie," Sarah greeted, her tone light yet strangely disconnected. There was an otherworldly detachment in her voice that sent a chill through me. She slipped off her heels, the soft thud echoing in the stillness of the house, and carelessly tossed her purse onto the chair near the door. Her laughter, hanging in the air, no longer brought the comfort it once did. Then she saw it. Her gaze landed on the dining table, and in an instant, her laughter ceased. It was as though someone had flipped a switch. Her body tensed, her smile vanished, and her face drained of color. She froze, staring at the framed photograph I had deliberately positioned so she couldn't miss it. It was a picture from our wedding day. In it, she looked stunning in her delicate lace gown, her radiant smile lighting up the frame. Beside her, I stood in my navy suit, grinning like a man who had just won the most precious prize in the world. We had embodied happiness, hope, and everything love was supposed to mean. But now, scrawled across the glass in bold red letters were two damning words: "I know." Her wide eyes darted from the photograph to me. I stood in the kitchen, leaning against the counter, my arms crossed and my expression betraying none of the turmoil raging within me. "What is this?" she asked, her voice trembling, barely managing to form the words. "Why don't you tell me, Sarah?" I replied coldly, my tone steady as my eyes locked onto hers. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came out. I could see her mind racing, trying to piece together what I knew, how much I knew, and how I had uncovered it. The confident, self-assured facade she had perfected over the years began to crumble. "Jack, I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered, her voice faltering under the weight of the moment. A bitter laugh escaped me, foreign even to my own ears. "Please, Sarah, don't insult my intelligence. For months, I've watched you lie to me, the business trips, the late nights at the office, your sudden obsession with the gym. It all adds up now." I picked up my phone and held it out for her to see. Her face crumpled as her eyes met the images I had painstakingly collected over weeks. Each one had been a dagger to my heart, but now they stood as undeniable proof. Pictures of Sarah and her so-called business partner Mark, holding hands on a secluded beach, laughing together at a bar, and kissing beneath the warm glow of a cabana. "Jack, I can explain," she began, her voice thick with desperation. I silenced her with a sharp glare. "Explain?" I snapped, my voice rising. "Explain how you've been sneaking around with Mark while I've been working late to pay for your yoga classes and spa trips. Explain how you've lied to my face, over and over again. Tell me, Sarah, are you sorry for what you've done, or just sorry you got caught?" Tears welled up in her eyes as she took a hesitant step toward me, her hands raised as though an embrace could mend the shattered pieces of our relationship. "Jack, please," she begged. "Let me explain. It's not what it looks like." I raised a hand to stop her. "Don't," I said firmly, my voice icy and unyielding. "For the past 2 months, I've been gathering evidence. Do you know why?" She didn't answer, her trembling lips betraying her struggle to keep herself together. "Because I needed to be sure," I continued, my tone calm but edged with steel. "I needed to know I wasn't imagining things, that I wasn't losing my mind. And now that I know, I've made my decision." Her tears fell freely now, but I felt no sympathy, no pity, not after what she had done. "I've already filed for divorce," I said, my words slicing through the silence like a knife. The papers are with my lawyer. You'll receive them tomorrow. I suggest you review the prenuptial agreement carefully before trying to contest it. Her expression crumbled as the weight of my words sank in like an anchor. She understood exactly what that meant. The agreement was ironclad, meticulously designed to protect my family's legacy. She would leave with nothing more than what she brought into the marriage. You don't have to do this, Jack, she murmured, her voice barely audible, a final, desperate attempt to reach me. I do, I replied flatly, my tone devoid of warmth. And one more thing, I've already informed Mark's wife. My revelation hit her like a physical blow. Her mouth opened and closed, searching for words but finding none. Her sobs grew louder, tears streaming freely down her face, but I felt nothing. The emptiness within me remained unshaken. This was the conclusion I had foreseen, the one I had meticulously prepared for. Opening a drawer, I pulled out a thick folder, its weight both literal and symbolic. Raising it for her to see, I spoke in a calm, detached tone, I've compiled everything. The folder contained a damning collection of evidence, photographs, text messages, receipts, each item painstakingly gathered to uncover the truth I had unearthed through weeks of quiet vigilance. I tossed it onto the table, its contents scattering like fallen leaves in a storm. This will go directly to your company's HR department if you even think about contesting this divorce, I declared, my voice steady and resolute. Her panic was palpable. Her wide eyes reflected the realization of what this meant. Finally, she grasped the gravity of her actions. Let's see how your company handles two senior managers conducting an affair on company time and resources, I added, my tone cutting like steel. A suffocating silence enveloped the room as she sank into a chair, burying her head in trembling hands while sobs racked her body. Watching her crumble didn't bring the satisfaction I'd imagined it would. Instead, the moment felt surreal, as if I were watching someone else's tragedy unfold. I made a mistake, Jack. Please, I cherish you, she pleaded, her voice trembling with regret. A bitter laugh escaped me, hollow and devoid of warmth. Cherish me? I echoed, my tone dripping with disdain. You call this cherishing, Sarah? You don't love me. You loved the life I gave you, the stability, the comfort, the security. But respect? No. You destroyed it all. For what? Her weeping grew louder, but it stirred nothing within me. Instead, I felt something unexpected, relief. The weight I'd unknowingly carried for so long was finally gone. There was no anger, no sadness, only freedom. I grabbed my keys with deliberate movements. I'll be staying at a hotel for the next few days, I said, my voice calm but firm. By the end of the week, movers will pack your things. You'll need to leave this house. She looked up, desperation etched into her tear-streaked face. Please, Jack. Don't do this. We can fix this, counseling, we can try to work things out, she begged, her voice trembling with hope. Shaking my head slowly but firmly, I replied, this isn't something that can be fixed, Sarah. My voice carried a finality that extinguished any lingering hope of reconciliation. Turning toward the door, my hand rested on the handle. Then, as an afterthought, I glanced back at her one last time. Oh, and I canceled the credit card for that new purse you bought during your business trip. Have fun explaining that to your lover, I said, my words slicing through the tension. Without waiting for a response, I walked out. Her cries echoed through the house, but I didn't falter. I didn't look back. I couldn't allow myself to be drawn in by her emotional pleas anymore. Driving away, a whirlwind of emotions churned within me. Betrayal and anger still stung, but beneath those turbulent feelings was something unexpected, a profound sense of liberation. For years, I had invested my energy into building a life with someone who hadn't truly valued it. That chapter of my life was over, but it marked the beginning of a new one. The following morning, while I was at the hotel, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Mark's wife. Her words were brief but deeply resonant. "Thank you for telling me. I'm leaving him too. We deserve better." Her message struck a chord. She was right, we did deserve better. As I stared out the hotel window at the sunrise painting the horizon, I realized something significant. The collapse of my marriage wasn't the catastrophic ending I'd once feared. It wasn't the destruction of my life, it was the dawn of a new chapter. For the first time in months, I felt hope stirring within me, a quiet but undeniable spark. The world outside was alive with possibilities waiting to be explored, and I was ready to embrace them.